मुअज़्ज़िज़ ख़वातीन व हज़रात, आज की इजलास की कार्रवाई हम शुरू करते हैं. A very warm welcome to everybody, especially to the speaker of today's session, much respected, much loved, Dr. Cemal Sangu. He is the Consul General of the Republic of Turkey. He has been the Consul General for a few years, I think almost 4 years, and he has done record work in promoting the relations between Pakistan and Turkey. He will soon be leaving us because his tour of duty is going to come to an end, and we are going to miss him very much. With this very short introduction, I will request him to speak, and when he speaks, I would like him also to say a few words about his own distinguished career. I did not formally ask him to bring a CV because I think that he will best represent the work he has done as Consul General and Diplomat of Turkey, and also his own work in Pakistan. So he will speak on his stay in Pakistan and Pakistan-Turkey relations. Let us welcome him.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Madam Dr. Masuma Hassan, esteemed guests, my dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum, a very good afternoon. It is really both privilege and honor for me to be here today at this prestigious Pakistan Institute of International Affairs and deliver a speech and a presentation on my stay in Pakistan and Turkey-Pakistan brotherhood and relations. First of all, I would like to sincerely thank Madam Dr. Masuma for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to address here to the distinguished and august audience today. Now, Madam Dr. Masuma said that I should tell you about my career before I start my presentation. I started my career 1988 at the ministry, at the Department of Multiple Economic Department. Then I have been posted to, my first posting is Dhaka, and I worked there 2 years, 1992. From there I moved to Jakarta, to Indonesia, from 92 to 95, 3 years in Jakarta. Then I went back to Ankara. I worked at the protocol department for 2 years. Then I have been posted to Rome, to our FAO office in Rome, and worked there 3 years. Then we closed down our office there, and then I moved to the embassy and then worked another 3 years in Rome. So I stayed on my first posting 6 years. Then I came back to Ankara. I worked at the personal department, human resources department. Then I have been sent back to Rome again, another 4 years again. So I stayed 10 years in Rome. Then I came back, I worked at the presidential palace for 2 years. Then I went on my will, I went to Astana, to Kazakhstan, because Central Asia, my dream geography. And I went there, I worked there, and then also did 1 year course at Eurasian University there. Then from there I moved to Marseille, France. I stayed there 1.5 years only. So then I came back to Ankara, worked at the cultural department, then moved to Dublin, for 5 years. Then came to Ankara. After Ankara, I came to, it was my own choice to come to Karachi. So since December 21, I'm here in my second home. Yeah. So, it's a brief introduction. Then I would like to continue my presentation with your permission. Everybody here knows that Turkey, Pakistan, they are two brotherly countries. And we have a very special, unique relation with Pakistan. And it is so deep-rooted and shared values and strategic partnership from defense to diplomacy to trade, education, technology, anchored in centuries-old historical and cultural ties. I mentioned that we have a very special relation, and it is very unique, and no one here or no words can describe it, because words are short to describe it. And it is something from my heart to your hearts, from your soul to my soul. So nobody can describe it. It's so deep. And how deep? Deeper than ocean, and higher than K2, and sweeter than Pakistani mango. The people of Turkey and Pakistan, they have always stood shoulder to shoulder and share each other's achievements, success, and difficult times. Be it an earthquake in Turkey or a flood in Pakistan, the outpouring of support and sympathy is always unprecedented. The mutual affection of our two countries is spontaneous, and love for each other deep, sincere, and abiding. It's not one side love, it is both side love. Ladies and gentlemen, our brotherhood is not seasonal, it is eternal, and it's time-tested. It has survived for centuries, and let's see what is the reason behind this brotherhood. I will go on in details. What is the reason why we are so close? What brings us so close together? After the presentation, I will share my stay in Pakistan. Yeah. So, before going into details, I would like to tell something about Turkish world, Turkish history, Turkish geography. So, Turkish geography is not today's Turkey. Turkish geography is so huge. How huge is it? You can see over there is a huge map. So it starts from very end of the Asia until to Eastern Europe. And it goes to the Middle East and also North Africa. Throughout the history, the Turks, they have established 16 great Turkish empires. And then there are the names on the Huns, White Huns, Western Huns, Asian Huns, and later on we have several down there. The Timur dynasty, we have the Hun dynasty, we have the Ottoman Empire, we have the Ghaznavids, we have the Safavids, we have the also Babur Empire as well. These are the some of them. And I said the geography is very huge, just very end of the Asia until the Eastern Europe. if you start walking on this geography, on the way you can speak Turkish. Because all the local people on the road, they are to some extent Turkish origins. So I said that almost very end of Asia until Eastern Europe, we have Turkish population, Turkish origin people over there. So we go to the next one. So the original homeland of Turkish people is Central Asia, north of today's Mongolia, on the Altai Mountains. That's the homeland. So from that Central Asia, on the north of Mongolia, due to several reasons, for political reasons, social reasons, then natural disaster, several reasons, people started migrating to different parts of the world. So they migrated to the north, to the east, to the south, to the west, everywhere. So you can see over there. So they migrated almost everywhere. But the homeland is today's Mongolia, somewhere 200 kilometers, the capital of Mongolia. That's the historical place, the homeland of Turkish people over there. So the Turkish language, because Turkish language is another very strong connection with that part of the world. Then why it is the connection with that part of the world? You can see these are the area that Turkish language just is spoken. Turkish language is the 5th largest spoken language in the world, and it is one of the oldest language on earth as well. So just in the recent years, it is said that Turkish, along with the Sanskrit, is the oldest language on earth, 8,500 years old. But last year, there was a discovery on the north of Altai Mountains. They found on a rock one word, T-U-R-K, Turk. It is written on archaic Turkish alphabet on a piece of rock. So it is very unique. It has been found on many inscriptions, but on a rock, on the mountain, just one word, Turk. It was fascinating, and it got interested many scholars, linguists, archaeologists, anthropologists. How come it is found on a piece of rock on the mountain? And they try to date it, how many years old that one. So it has been dated 18,000 years old. That is the oldest even found something on earth. So the linguists and the scholars say that to put one sound into words and letters, it took 2,000-year evolution. That means when people heard one sound and put in words, in letters, it took 2,000 years. So that means people used to live there 20,000 years ago over there. That is the oldest discovery on earth. So 3 years ago, we celebrated our 75th year of diplomatic relation with Pakistan. So 1947, that is the foundation of the Pakistan, but our relation did not started with 1947. Our relation started centuries ago, more than 1,000 years old. So I will go in details how come it is so old. So, according to the studies, the first touch of Turkish people on subcontinent started 350 AD. The Ahuns, that means white Huns, they came all the way from the north to the subcontinent, and they settled down in subcontinent, and they remained here until 573. That means they stayed here almost 300 years. So today there are many people, descendant of Ahuns, still living in subcontinent. I will go later on some of these important personalities having Ahuns ancestor. Then the subcontinent get attracted by the Turkish people on the north. Then 1006, again another campaign started from the north, from today's Afghanistan, today's Uzbekistan. The Mahmud Ghaznavid started to come down with all his companions, and they started settling down again in subcontinent. Then I will go also later on in details about that one. Then we have 1453, when the Sultan Mehmed conquered Istanbul. Many people from subcontinent, they traveled all the way to Istanbul to congratulate the Sultan. So there were so many people, so many excursions, they came, and then visiting Istanbul, sultans sometimes realized that there were so many people with different clothes, with different appearance, and asked, who are these people? They said that, these are our Muslim brothers and sisters. They are coming all the way far, far away to congratulate you and to be near to you. And he instructed them to build a guest house for those guests. Guest house means with all facilities. A place to sleep, a place to eat, a place to pray, a place to sell. People, when they come, they bring also something to sell there. Some spices, silk, this and that. They also built some shops there, and then they started doing business there. So there is one place in Istanbul called Hindi Tekke. It is in Aksaray district. That place still do exist in Istanbul. People travel so much on the way through land. They realize that they should have some safe passes. They should construct some other places on the way also. Between subcontinent to Istanbul, there are 12 Hindi tekkes on the way. There are one in Konya, the other one in Baghdad, the other one is somewhere to Mashhad, the other places, 12 places, just to give them a safe and comfortable place to stay there. Then this is a place in Istanbul in the middle, and then of course when the Mahmud Ghaznavid set up the Delhi Sultanate, and Delhi Sultanate lasted 1526. Then another Turkish empire came into existence, which is called Babur Empire, and you call them Mughal Empire. Mughal, and then Mughal empires came into existence until 1857. When the British came into existence, and then the Babur dynasty is ended, unfortunately. So I mentioned Ahuns and Mahmud Ghaznavids, and Ahuns, I said that they remained here, and then 300 years. Then came the Kutbeddin Aybek, and then they established Mahmud Ghaznavid dynasty, which is called also the Delhi Sultanate. During the Delhi Sultanate, we have the Alaaddin Khilji, Then we have the Iltemish, we have the Razia Sultan. These are the important figures. You may know, of course, them. They are all Turkish origins. And Razia Sultan is the first woman sultan in subcontinent in South Asia. And is not the first of Turkish origin. She's one of the Turkish origin woman sultan. The first one is 600 BC. Tomris Hatun is a Turkish sultan. And then we have a Bura Sultan, Bura Begum. It is 300 AD. And then Razia Sultan, something 1520, something like that. So we have the first powerful, strong, dynamic woman sultan in South Asia. Then we have these, the name of some dynasties on the left side. There are over there. Then after the Akhuns, we have now during the 14th, 15th, 16th century, there were three different Turkish empires. So, Ottoman Empire on the Western Asia, in the Middle East, Eastern Europe, and North Africa. Ottoman Empire is a very small part of Turkish history, though it is the second longest empire in the world after Roman Empire. It lasted almost 700 years. But contemporarily, when there was Ottoman Empire, there was another empire in today's Iran and Central Asia called Safavids. Safavids, they are also Turkish origin empires. And the soldiers of Safavid Empire supposed to be Turkish origins. But in that geography, sometimes it was difficult to find Turkish origin sultans, but the officers must be Turkish origins. The soldiers and the officers used to be called Kızılbaş. Members of the army called Kızılbaş. Kızılbaş, I think it's familiar with you because we have many Kızılbaş people still living in subcontinent. Kızılbaş is a very Turkish word. Kızıl has two meanings, one red, the other one is gold. Baş means head. So Kızılbaş means red head. Why? Because the officers and the soldiers, they used to have a red cap using, and then they used to call Kızılbaş. Kızılbaş, why they came to here? The Safavid Empire was mainly composed of Shias. There were some Sunnis as well. So they were very strong, trusted, well-trained soldiers. They came to subcontinent for two reasons. One reason is to come as a guardian to the palace, to the courts and important locations. The second reason is they got some oppression over there. The Sunni ones, they moved to subcontinent. They have a safe place in subcontinent, and then they are still living here among us here. Then on the east subcontinent, we have another Turkish origin empire, Babur Empire. You call them Mughal empires. Mughal, the word Mughal is an invented word. It has been invented early 19th century by the British. And 48 scholars tried to describe what means Mughal. They could not have a single agreed definition because they could not, because everybody made different description. They said they are from Mongolia, they are saying they're from India, one say it's from Persia, some say from Central Asia. They don't have it because it's a void word. but they are some of the historians, they call them Babur Empire. So Babur Empire came into existence 1526 with the Babur Shah. Babur Shah is very strong sultan. He did a lot for the entire country here. And after the Babur, then came the Humayun, then came the Akbar Shah. Akbar Shah is the longest ruled sultan during the Babur Empire, 49 years. Akbar Shah is one of the most influential sultan during the Babur Empire. In fact, he was illiterate. He could not read and write, but he was very smart, very intelligent. He introduced so many things in the subcontinent. He introduced the most important educational system in subcontinent. That educational system today do exist, and the British system is based on Akbar's education system. Akbar, during the Delhi Sultanate, I mentioned the name of the Sultan started Babur, Humayun, Akbar Shah, then Cihangir Shah, then Aurangzeb I, then Shah Jahan I, then later on Ahmed Shah, we have Alamgir II, Shah Jahan II, then the last one is Bahadur Shah Zafar. When 1857, when he lost against British, he has been exiled to today's Burma, to Rangoon, and then he passed away. Bahadur Shah Zafar was a very important sultan. He was very well educated. He was a poet. He was a calligraph. He was a philosopher as well, and he was also a painter. So he lost his last days, last years in Burma and passed away. So the impact of the rulers of Turkish origin sultans in subcontinent, they introduced so many things in the subcontinent. What they have introduced? They introduced new administration innovations. For instance, renewal system, education system, military organization, infrastructure developments. You know, they introduced the agriculture reform during the Abdullah Khilji time. He is the one who first set up the irrigation system in subcontinent. That irrigation system in some areas still do exist in some areas. And then they were the patronage of art, architecture, literature, and religion. You know, especially during the Akbar time and Shah Jahan time, also Aurangzeb, they were the patronage of literature, architecture, art, and they give them support, and they started to translate all the important classics into Persian language. And they brought so many important philosophers, painters from today's Iran, today's Uzbekistan to subcontinent, and they support them. They produce so many important works over there. And of course, they made reform in the legal system, and they introduced Islamic law, Sharia, as well in that part of the world. So, I think everybody knows this fort in Lahore. It has been, Lahore was the capital of, the first capital of Babur Empire, and then they made so many important architectural buildings over there. This is the tomb of Cihangir Shah, yeah. So the everybody knows, I think Taj Mahal, one of the seven wonders of the world. It has been built for the what was it? What? No. The wife of the Mumtaz Khanum, for his wife. Can you imagine the love for his wife? He constructed the Taj Mahal. Now today it is called one of the seven wonders in the world. It is a masterpiece of Turkish architecture. Then we can come to Sindh. We have also many Turkish origin architectural masterpieces. I think everybody knows Tata. Tata was once the capital of Sindh, and it was center of trade, center of art, center of literature as well. So it was just on the coastal line of Indus River. So the trade was there. So during, I forgot the date, but there was a very huge earthquake, and the city unfortunately damaged a lot. So there is a mosque in Tata called Shah Jahan Mosque. Shah Jahan came to Tata. It was very famous city, capital of Sindh and capital of the Isa Tarkan dynasty as well. So he visited there, and he visited the Isa Khan over there, and he became very ill over there. He was about to die, but the people in Tata, they made a very special medicine from different spices, and they saved his life. And then he asked the people, "You saved my life, ask what I can do for you." They asked him to build a mosque in Tata. So he asked people from Samarkand, from Bukhara, to come down and construct that mosque for Tata, and they exactly constructed same mosque. There is a mosque near Samarkand over there, resembles the same one, and that mosque still exists in Tata. Then I think everybody knows the Makli, that is the largest necropolis in the world. And it is 10 kilometers, the area, and then they say that there are different theories, between 500,000 and 1 million tombs there. If you go there, there are so many masterpieces with different architectural style, different motifs, different tiles, different inscriptions, everything. So the tombs, turbas, graveyards, everything, they have the same one in today's Uzbekistan, in today's part of Iran as well. In there is an area called in Iran Khorasan area, in Mashhad, and some of area in Afghanistan. The Khorasan area is very Turkish. If you go there to Mashhad, and there are so many the turbas of important imams, they have all Turkish origins. In today's Iran, for instance, there are 46 million people do speak Turkish. So almost half of Iran do speak Turkish. So the Mashhad and the Khorasan area is very important. Khorasan area is also famous for its Sufi saints. Sufis, they came to subcontinent even before the who introduced the Islam to subcontinent? Muhammad bin Qasim. When Muhammad bin Qasim came to Sindh here, there were already 4 Sufi masjid here. So Sufis, they came before they introduced Islam to subcontinent. Sufis from Mashhad, Sufis from Khorasan, they came here. So that's why, and Mevlana Celaleddin Rumi, he's from Khorasan as well. So he was born there, he got his primary education there, higher education in Baghdad, Damascus, and then later on he moved to Konya, and then he settled down, and then his turba, he's now resting in Konya. If you go there to Konya, for instance, I will come later on mention something with Konya, with Rumis. So these are the architectural buildings, Turkish origin in Sindh, some of them, for instance, of course. So, millennium-old history, you know, the connection between during the Delhi Sultanate, during the Babur Empire, there was a lot of connection with the Ottoman Empire in Istanbul. So there were some exchanges, they sent some envoys, they sent, for instance, Tipu Sultan sent an envoy to Istanbul with 5 elephants, with a lot of gifts. When elephants arrived in Istanbul, people were afraid. They said that there are some beasts, and the first time they have seen in their life elephants, you know, huge animal. So they call them beasts of the east. So then, of course, they sent the same way some gifts with the elephant. They came back. So Tipu Sultan, why he sent envoy to Istanbul? You know, 1517 Ottoman Sultan became the Caliph as well. So Caliph was very important, and then all the Muslims around, they were asking some help, some blessings from him. So people from subcontinent, they used to go for the pilgrimage, for Hajj. They used to go to Holy Land. They used to take two ways, one from the sea, the other one from the land. Land, they have some guardians, they take the security, safe passage, but on the sea, there were some problems. You know, the Portuguese and Dutch, they were very much advanced in sailing, and they were all occupied the whole Far East and Indian Ocean as well. And the Babur Empire, they didn't have any sailing potential. So people used to go from Mumbai, then the Bombay, they were traveling by boats to Holy Land. On the way, pirates and some of these Portuguese or Dutch, they were disrupting their journey. They asked help from Ottoman Empire. Ottoman Empire sent some navies to clash with the Portuguese. To some extent, they succeeded, but they were very powerful, and Ottoman Empire was very powerful on the Mediterranean, but not to Indian Ocean. It's a huge, and then they were not very well sailing in ocean. So at the end, they made an agreement with the Dutch and Portuguese. They signed an agreement. They should give safe passage for those who are going for the Holy Lands, and Ottoman Empire paid for it. So that's the reason Tipu Sultan sent envoy to Istanbul, and one of the envoy, he passed away, and he is now resting in Istanbul. His grave is in Istanbul still there, and it is written over there. So because of the Caliphate, I will come later on. Yeah, another very important connection, I said that the Ahuns. So Hasan Ali Efendi. Hasan Ali Efendi is a very important personality. He is first of all, he is a great educationist. He established Sindh Madrasatul Islam in Karachi. Sindh Madrasatul Islam is the second important educational institute in subcontinent after the Aligarh University. Why? Because Aligarh University and Sindh Madrasatul, they first time they started teaching Islamic values and then positive sciences in English and in Urdu. So Sultan Abdul Hamid Khan in Istanbul, he was also very much passionate with education. he also established 42 important education institutes around Ottoman Sultan. He heard that Hasan Ali Efendi established an important education institute. He gave him the title of Bey. Bey is a very important, given to the important civilian dignitaries. Then there was a war between Ottoman Empire and Russian Empire on Crimea, 1883-84. Hasan Ali Efendi in Sindh, he mobilized people and he collected help and sent to Ottoman Empire. When Sultan Abdülhamid Khan heard that Hasan Ali Efendi sent help to Ottoman Empire, he gave him the title of Efendi. So he became Efendi, Bey, and also later on he became the first honorary consul general of Ottoman Empire in Karachi. So the Turkish consulate do exist in Karachi since 1887. So that is the oldest consulate in Karachi. Sure. Okay, other than quick refresh, yeah. So this is the Tura, that's the signature of the Ottoman Sultan, giving him these titles. And then Ottoman Empire, during that time, they opened another consulate in Madras in India. Now Allama Iqbal is very well known in Turkey and also in Turkish world. He is very much passionate with Rumi's philosophy, Rumi's teachings, and he also wrote all his poems in Persian. Although Rumi is Turkish, but he wrote everything in Persian, as well as Allama Iqbal. Allama Iqbal, he was very passionate, and during the Khilafat movement, he has done a lot to help Ottoman Empire during that time. So he is very well known over there. His symbolic tomb is in today's Konya next to the Rumi's tomb. And there is a very important mosque in Konya named after Allama Iqbal. There is also very important circle in Konya named after Allama Iqbal. And many Turkish children, they are also named after Allama Iqbal. Abdurrahman Peshawari, he's also another very important personality that connects us. He's from Peshawar. He was from a very rich family, but without asking any help, anything, he moved by himself to Istanbul, to today's Trablus. There was a war going on over there with the Italian. He went there, he fighted, he was with some other people, and from Libya he moved to Balkans, to Istanbul, and then he was a very close friend of Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. He became a Turkish citizen, and then later on he became the Turkish ambassador to Kabul. Yeah. So I think Muhammad Ali Jahor and Maulana Shaukat Ali, they are the two brothers who went to Turkey during the Khilafat movement as well, and they have done a lot for us. And then over there, I will show you later on the Muhammad Ali Jahor's Shirwani, and then the Karakuli. I will show you mine. I will show you. And Urdu language is another strong connection between us. You know, during the Delhi Sultanate and also during the Babur Empire, the language of the army was Turkish. So armies, they were communicating each other in Turkish. So around the army, in the market, they were always talking in Turkish. Urdu means Lashkar, army. So in decades, in a century's time, the Urdu language came into existence and became the language of the whole subcontinent. And we have 2,000 original Turkish words in Urdu, and then we have 2,000 and 2,000 Arabic, Persian words. So we have almost 5,000 to 6,000 common words we are using. So Urdu is another very strong connection between us. So these are the things what we are doing here. I think we don't have much time. Maybe we go for the question and answer. Yeah. Thank you.
Dr. Cemal, I'm sure we are all fascinated by your own fascinating grip on history and the range of your knowledge. It goes back thousands of years and brings us to the contemporary. Actually, you've given the reasons why there is so much closeness between Pakistan and Turkey. And you have done it through a historical and cultural perspective, which is very fascinating. I will open the floor to questions. Javed Jabbar sir.
Thank you, President. I just want to compliment the Consul General for a fascinating,
Thank you.
panoramic, so informative and illuminating presentation. Really, some of it one knew, but so much more one has got to know through your courtesy and knowledge.
Thank you.
I just want to request Your Excellency, if you could kindly present your perspective on the current and the future of the relationship between Pakistan and Turkey in the context of current geopolitical changes in the world at large.
Yeah, I mentioned that Turkey, Pakistan, we have a very strong relation. And that relation do exist only between Turkey and Pakistan. It is so deep, it doesn't exist any other country. Why? Because of these historical realities. So in more than 1,000 years, many people from north, they came to the down to the south, and they came and they lived together, and then we merged into each other. So we consider here and in Turkey, we say that we are two countries but one nation. Just recently in Azerbaijan, 2 months ago or 1 month ago, there was the opening ceremony of Lachin Airport in Azerbaijan, and our leaders over that they declared that now we are 3 countries, 1 nation, because Azerbaijan is also Turkish. So keeping in mind this one, so we have a strong relation. So we are always shoulder to shoulder. Anything happen to Pakistan, it will happen to Turkey. So we are always together, and then we will support each other. We have a strong relation in every field, in culture, in economic. Trade is very low, but in culture, in science, in the field of defense, in the field of education, we have a strong relation, and it will continue. And the current situation in the world is very fragile, and all the countries, the world do not need any war. We do need peace, and we should, especially peace in this part of the world. And now we are saying the war in Gaza. Unfortunately, there is a war going on between Russia and Ukraine, and then we have so many conflicts in Africa as well, in Middle East as well. So we don't need any conflict, any war. We do need peace, and every country should give support. They should give stipulation to stop wars, and then give more room for peace. So we are now the recent conflict between Pakistan and India. So we welcome. There was a peaceful solution for it. There was a ceasefire, and then we We want to have a long-lasting, permanent ceasefire there. We won't have any conflict here in this part of the world. Thank you.
Thank you. I will echo what Mr. Javed Jabbar said. He has also partly asked what I wanted to ask. But, you know, one of the most important aspects in the geopolitical movements that we see is trade. And the other day I touched upon this with you, that there was a trade, alliance of RCD. Do you see something like this re-emerging now between not only Pakistan, Iran and Turkey, but more nations? And I think the economic interests would go into settling the conflicts, and other, will overshadow the other interests.
Sure.
So your comments on how we will.
Yeah, RCD was one of the important organization in recent decades, recent century, but unfortunately it has not, in function now. They established ECO, but ECO cannot fulfill its position. So RCD, during the RCD time, Turkey, Iran, Pakistan, they enjoyed, and then they gained so much during that time. But since it is finished, there is no achievement, there is no development, unfortunately. So the trade is very important between our two countries, in the region as well. But we have a huge potential in Turkey, huge potential in Pakistan, but our trade potential is very low, very limited. It's only 1.3. It doesn't suit to our potentials. So we have to work very hard to increase our trade volume, trade relation. So of course, we have to prepare the infrastructure, but the businessmen, they should do more and more efforts to increase it. Thank you.
Two questions on current issues, if that is permissible. The first is, Turkey took a very bold stand on the entry of Sweden and Finland to NATO. What happened after that? Were they members or not? And then there was a strange coincidence. Months after that, or almost a year after that, the leader of the Kurdish revolt surrendered. And he also ordered his followers to surrender their arms, which was a tremendous success, I think. So, any connection between the two issues?
No, I don't think that there is a connection between the entry of Sweden and Finland into NATO and then the surrounding of the Kurdish terrorists. There is no connection between that. But it was an initiative from our side to finish that decades-old conflict in Turkey. So as I said, that we do need peace. With the arms, with the terrorist movement, you cannot gain anything. So with the peaceful way, with the democratic way, you can do anything. So we are now trying to stipulate, trying to promote everything through peaceful way. Whatever they ask, they can ask, and then in a peaceful, and then we will find a solution for it, inshallah.
Very good.
Thank you.
The other issue is the massive inflation in Turkey. It's, for example, around December 2019, the Turkish lira, for $1, it was 7 Turkish liras. Somewhere around, say, February 2024, it was between 40 and 42 Turkish lira, which means a tremendous, fantastic fall. But we always had an impression that the Turkish economy is very strong, but perhaps the massive inflation, decline in the value of the lira is something otherwise.
Yeah, there are several reasons. The first reason is all the world, they had this pandemic, COVID-19. It has affected all the world economies, including Turkey. That is one of the reasons, for instance. Second reason is now we are in the Middle East. On the north, a war is going on between Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine and Russia, they are our economic partner. We had a huge trade, but due to this war, our trade volume with them is also decreased. And we are having 4.5 million Syrian refugees. And this is a huge number. It's a huge burden for us. During the Russian and Ukraine war, we had also many Ukrainian, Russian, they moved to Turkey as well. So, and then last year, 1.5 years ago, we had a huge earthquake as well. Yeah. So 11 cities is destroyed and it cost us more than $150 billion. So it affected as well. And my personal view, the previous economic team, they were not very well. They did not run the economy very well. Now we have a new team. They are now trying to rehabilitate everything. Inshallah, we will overcome this inflation issue. Thank you.
Another, if I can. One more. Russia, sorry. Russia had blocked the sale of gas, the big company Gazprom, to Eastern Europe. Did they block the sale of gas to Turkey also? Because
No,
gas prices rose up very high.
Yeah, Russian gas is one of the sources to Turkey. And then we have a pipeline through Black Sea. It is functioning very well. The gas prices is fluctuating. Today is there, tomorrow is there. So now it is stable, I guess. But we are still getting the gas from Russia.
Shukriya. I actually want to say shukriya to our esteemed guest tonight. You have made a place in our hearts. You have built so many bridges during your tenure here. We have a lot to be grateful to you for. You have brought the two countries together.
Thank you. Thank you.
My question to you is that, the Bosphorus Straits were being controlled by a treaty. And I think that ended last year or the year before last, the treaty, and then, no? Am I wrong? Is it still being controlled by the powers that be?
Yeah.
So when is that treaty going to end?
No, treaty is there. That Luzon Treaty is the deed of Turkey. And there is a story going on outside Turkey. And then they say that, 100 years is finished. The Bosphorus Treaty is finished now. It is controlled by, it has been controlled by Turkey since 1838 with the another treaty on Turkish Straits. So treaty is there. There is nothing with the 100 years or anything. So the Luzon Treaty is the deed of Turkey, and it's going on. And there is this story going on abroad, only abroad, nothing in Turkey.
Sir, Assalamu alaikum. Khosh Alden. So I would just like to ask you one question regarding Pakistan and Turkey. So with respect to the Karachi Consulate General, so would you like to outline the projects, the ongoing projects of, you can say, which you are being, you can say, supervised by you under your leadership in Karachi, sir?
So we have several projects in Sindh and in Balochistan, and also in general Pakistan. We have Turkish Coordination Development Agency. And Turkish Coordination Agency has implementing so many projects in the field of health, in the field of education, in the field of heritage, in the field of services, in the field of agriculture, in the field of many fields. So what we mean in the field of education, for instance, Turkish Coordination Development Agency, we have provided more than 100 IT labs in many schools. We refurbished 9 schools interior synth. Refurbishing means we refurbish outside, inside we put solar panel. We provide them IT lab, science lab, library, music room, and all school equipments. And we have done many schools in Karachi, in many special schools. For instance, we provided many, we refurbished autism centers. We donated many wheelchairs, electronic wheelchairs. We set up many special garden for special children. We set up sport facilities in some special schools, and we refurbished one auditorium, Rashidabad Education Campus, 450 seats with sound system and with the wheelchair accessible, so many things over there. Hundreds of projects. We have in the field education, for instance, we built a very state-of-art, latest technology media center, NAD University. We set up a very last technology IT centers in Karachi University. And we refurbished in many hospitals operation theaters, intensive care units, maternity units. We refurbished many wards in many hospitals, for instance, in Karachi. We have donated many medical equipments. You know, when we refurbish the operation theaters, we donate them all the equipments as well. Plus, we ultrasounds, hearing testing, and we so many doctors, experts came. They did joint operations in the operation theaters as well. Many in the field of agriculture, we set up one latest technology greenhouse in Tandurjam University, Lazbela University, for instance. So students studying that, they can go and then practice their theories, and then they make experiment there. For instance, 2 of them. We have done many educational program for fishermen in Lazbela in Balochistan. We give them training program, how to cultivate fish, how to fish, how to preserve them, how to market them. After for instance, the training program, we give them some equipments. We build them a cool house so that they can keep their fish when they, for instance, we did bee producers, for instance, for them the training, how to do them. After the training, we gave them 15 hives. They start their own business. Many other projects. We are running 20. We are running 20 informal schools in Karachi, in Liari, Orangi, Korangi, Surjani, Malir, Baldia town. Informal schools means we have those children, they don't have access to education, or those girls whose family, they don't want to send their girls far away to their schools. We go to the area with the community leaders, we convince the families, and then we set up a 1 or 2 classroom schools in their neighborhood, and then we put solar panel, drinking water, toilet facilities, all school equipments, uniform, and 1 lady teacher as well. So every year we enroll 1,600 students. 85% of the students, they are girls, because we give the importance to girls' education, because they are going to be tomorrow's mothers. They will furnish, they will prepare our children for future. And we give also training to those ladies who is going to teach them, we give them a special training in cooperation with the education department. We give them special training, and then we give them teacher training certificate. Last year, we distributed 800 certificates, for instance, all ladies. So we empower them as well. And you name it, we have hundreds of projects in the field of education, in the field of health, everywhere. So we give utmost importance in education. Education is the pillar of the development, backbone of the development. If there is a development, there is prosperity, of course. Thank you.
Excellency,
Sana Pirzada.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sana Pirzada. I'm a human rights lawyer. Firstly, I'd like to say this was a beautiful presentation, and it was an absolute pleasure to listen to you. My question pertains to the situation in Gaza. And obviously, we've seen that all the countries in the world are issuing statements condemning the actions of Israel. But I wanted to ask you on a practical level, what more do you think that Pakistan and Turkey can jointly do to help the people of Palestine and to put pressure on the government of Israel to stop this brutality that's taking place? Thank you.
First of all, thank you very much, sir, for your presentation. And I'm also a lecturer law at University of Karachi. And my question is regarding your presentation, that the history that you have shared. It's very easy for me to adopt this history as a Pakistani. But recently we have seen during the Operation Sindoor, Turkey openly support Pakistan, and there's a conflict with India as well. So as a diplomat, how do you see when sharing histories can be conflicting in the colonial debates as well? So how do you see that? What is your perspective on these kind of hostile narratives when history can bring us closer, but history can divide us as well? So what is your diplomatic perspective on that? Thank you.
It's a very tricky question. Yeah, regarding the Gaza, unfortunately, in front of the all world eyes, there is a crime is going on, a genocide is going on in Gaza, in front of the whole world. And whole world, unfortunately, they are silent. And then nobody say anything. So there is an atrocities is going on there, and Turkey, Pakistan cannot do alone anything over there. The whole world community, they should react, and then now the international treaties, international organizations, they are all finished, unfortunately. So if there is a unity among all the countries, all the communities, then they will make strong pressure on Israel to stop their atrocities over there. And the recent conflict, of course, Turkey openly supported Pakistan. So, because India, they said that everything is done from Pakistani side, but they could not provide any concrete, nothing there was. So they couldn't. And then Pakistan, they were very open, and they said that if you have any clue, anything, please show us, and then we make an investigation. Instead of showing anything, they started attacking Pakistan. So Pakistan was the country who was attacked, and it was an attack on his sovereignty. And Turkey, from the centuries, we are always supporting Pakistan, and then we are always with Pakistan. We are on the right side of the people, because Pakistan was right, on the right.
Excellency, I will not bother you with the political question.
Thank you.
I want to ask the cooperation on the television and film side. Television dramas are very popular in Pakistan. Artul Ghazi, Mera Sultan, Ishq-e Mamnu. We are looking forward to in cooperation in the film industry as well. Any suggestion, any consideration is going on?
Thank you. You know, in Turkey, from my childhood, we used to watch Western dramas, movies, and also Koreans as well, not only Western, Indian movies and dramas. And usually these dramas and serials, they were 15% is real, 85% is fiction. So we decided, you know, we have a very rich culture, very old history. Why don't we write our own stories, our own dramas, serials? And then we have a rich culture. So we started and we did it. And whatever we do, 85% is real, 15% to give some attraction is fiction, and we achieve it. And now all over the world, Turkish dramas is very popular everywhere, all around the world, from South America to Asia, to Africa, to Europe as well. So we succeeded, and then I think Pakistan, if you start writing your own stories, your own dramas, you can achieve it. We have already started, and we just recently, Türkiye Pakistan joint corporation, Selahattin Eyyubi, it's a Turkish-Pakistani co-production. It's very successful. We can do everything, and Turkish Radio and Corporation and Pakistan PTV, they have a corporation, and some other private TV channels, they have a corporation with different Turkish channels. There is a room for all kind of corporation there. Thank you.
I will now wind up this session. Please take a seat. My task is not very easy. I want to compliment Dr. Cemal Sangu. Not only thank him for agreeing to come and speak here, but also for his remarkable grip on history. Truly remarkable. Many of us know about the events and the developments he has referred to, but not many of us know the detail that he has addressed. He has very beautifully put forward the reasons for the close relationship, historical relationship between Pakistan and Turkey. And I was especially moved by his reference to what he called the Babar Shah dynasty, which we call the Mughal Empire, because he referred to my hero in history, that is Akbar the Great, who was illiterate, but he was the patron of a very great learning system. And we must also not forget that it was not only the men in the Mughal Empire during his time and the other Mughals who were educated, but it was also the women. The Mughal princesses were very accomplished women. They were educated in many languages. His first wife, his child wife, Ruqayya Begum, Ruqayya Khanam, she spoke many languages. One of his wives, Salima Sultan Begum, she was a poet, and she used to borrow books from his library. He had a library of 24,000 books, although, as Cemal said, he couldn't read himself. But he had a library of 24,000 books, and she used to borrow books from there. Then there was that unfortunate woman, child, Aurangzeb's daughter. She was a poet too. I say unfortunate because she was not allowed to get married. But she was also a poet. And the women, the Mughal princesses, were peacekeepers. They kept the peace whenever there was any dissent or any conflict within the family. And when Akbar's son Jahangir, who later became Jahangir, Prince Salim revolted against his father. Akbar sent Salima Sultan to mollify him and to bring him back. So these women were also peacekeepers. The history which you have laid before us in all its dimensions is so amazing. But let us also refer to the Nizam of Hyderabad, because it was he who really, in the end, helped the Khilafat. It was he who made sure that the last Caliph, Abdul Majid, I think he was, should not die in penury, should not die in poverty. And for all times to come, he gave him a stipend of so many. He was a very rich man himself, of so much money every year. We remember that also when we talk about our history. Dr. Cemal Sangu, I'm very sorry that you are leaving us. But come back again and come back as ambassadors. We'll be very happy. Not just your amazing grip on history, but also your remarkable career. Because when you told us about the many places where you have served, it was really also very, very amazing for us that you have served in so many. You're almost a Roman. You've been in Rome for 10 years. So that was also something that was very interesting for me, as well as I'm sure for the rest of the audience. So we will wait for you. Come back as ambassador. And I request now all the audience over here to please join us for a cup of tea on the ground floor. Thank you very much. But before you go, I want to, as a mark of affection, our love, the way we honor you, this institute wants to present you with this gift. Journey to Pakistan.
Thank you.
And this is, you're most welcome. And this is also a copy of our latest journal. We've been publishing this journal. It's the oldest social sciences journal in Pakistan. Yes, it's 78 years old. Thank you for being such a wonderful audience, and don't forget to come to the next event. Fantastic. It was fantastic.